Hey, welcome to the Ozzstar Scars channel. I'm Glenn, and today's fun project, I'm going to show you how to replace the wheel seal on the front rotor or brake rotors of a Ford E350. This is a cargo van. A lot of the heavy duty or super duty Fords like the F250, F350 have this set up. Even the older style F150s have a hub at the back of the rotor. Now this is a conventional rotor you usually think about on like front wheel drive cars and more modern vehicles, where you don't have studs coming out. That's usually the telltale sign, and in the center it's held on with a nut. These you just kind of bang off the spindle or the hub and you're good to go. So the old school, what I'm going to show you here is that bearing, the back bearing has a seal behind it which holds the grease in so that those can stay lubricated. Now the more modern vehicles that have this type of rotor, especially front wheel drive, they're going to just have a hub that's already all built together and done. That's your bearings in there, and it's a little bit more difficult to service. But anyway, the video here is just to help you out how to remove that seal, inspect the bearing, and then there's also a race. The bearing rides on the race, and if you have to take your rotor off, let's say to have it turned, if you're not going to replace it, you go to a brake lathe would do that. That machine would turn it down, make it smooth so you don't have that wobble in it or warp. You'd have to take out that wheel seal and that bearing, clean everything up before you can have that done. All right, so it's super simple to get that seal out. You just need one of these seal pullers. It's got this hook. You could probably use a pry bar to get in under here and pop this up, but this gives you more leverage. So hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'm taking the hook here and I'm looping it under. So this will work with, this type of seal. As in your heavy duty like Ford cargo vans or the F250, F350. So that's all I'm doing, just popping up. And then bingo, that easy, it's out. Here's what it looks like. All right, so I'll take this bearing out now. I'm gonna clean this bearing out and repack it and grease it. I'm gonna check the race, make sure there isn't any scuff marks or burning, and put it back together. When we come back, I'll show you how to put the new seal in. It's a pretty simple trick. Well, I decided to throw in some bonus footage. So I'll show you how to pack this bearing real quick if you're not familiar with it. So anyhow, on these heavy duty trucks, this is an 8 lug. So that seal is in this 07 E250. If you got a heavy duty E150, it'll work, and I'm sure some other applications. So it's 710 625 is this type of seal right here, and I'm using this brand. So they don't pay me to advertise, so I won't say their name. Anyhow, there's two different ways. There's like this lip here on this edge. You don't want to bend it when you're putting it in, so I'll show you the trick. It's real easy. This part here, this smaller diameter ring goes down. That's going to go right in there. So here's the inner bearing. You got to make sure this goes in first. Of course, you take it out the way you put it in. The tapered part, you can see it's tapered on this side. It's narrower than out here. So this goes down into the race. The part that's down there is the race, and I checked it. You want to look for scuffing or pitting or any type of bluing, means overheating. This one looks fine. So here's how we pack it. Here comes your bonus footage. You take, I'm using some of this synthetic grease right here, this stuff. So I'm going to take a big scoop of it, like a golf ball size, and I'm going to just lay it in my hand like that. And I'm going to take the bearing, which has been cleaned, used brake cleaner, flushed it all out. It spins real easy. I checked that. That's also looking real good. And then all I got to do is I grab it like this, got my fingers through here, and I'm just going to pack it in. Now you can get those grease packers. I'm sure Steve Rob's got one of those because he's got a lot of tools over there. Check out his channel. But anyhow, I'll just keep forcing the grease through, and I'll show you in a second here what you're looking for, so that you know that the bearing's been packed properly. So I'm just kind of scraping and I'm pushing and scraping that in. All right, it's starting to push through now. Basically, there's the inner part of the bearing and then the outer. Now, I don't know if it's picking up on camera. Let me see if I can get it for you. There's right in here between the two, it's starting to kind of bubble up. I don't know how else to describe it. Let me try to clean this up so you can see it a little better. Right in the middle here. Right here. So that's how you know you've pushed it through. So you want to do that all the way around. And I'll finish packing this one, and then I'll show you how to drive that seal in. Don't forget to check out my other repair videos I have here on YouTube. Leave me a comment down below. I like comments. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate all my viewers, especially my subscribers that consistently, comment on my videos and support the channel. It's a cool network of guys out there. Okay, the inside of this rotor has been cleaned. I got all that old grease out of there. I'm just lining it on the inside here. You don't have to go crazy. You don't want to pack this full of grease. What you want to do is put enough in there where when it heats up, it flows, it melts, and it kind of flows around and lubricates the bearing. You don't need 5 pounds of grease in this thing. So the bearing's all set, tapered down. You got the grease in there. Drop that in there like that. I might kind of spin it a little bit just to seat it. That's good. I'll just wipe off the top here, just the top edge. The thing you want to remember when you're packing these bearings, sterile. You want to keep everything clean. You definitely don't want any dirt or grit or rust getting in there. Okay, so the bearing's down in there. Here's our seal. This lip is down, the smaller lip. We set it on top. Now, if you want, you can slightly tap to try to get it seated in there, but it probably won't work too good. Like I just barely got it. Now if you beat on this, you'll bend it. So here's how we put it in. We got it centered. Just get yourself like a 5-inch piece of wood, this 2x4. Set that right on top. And just start hammering down, nice and flush. Drive it in. And then check your work. You'll know when it's all the way down there. You'll see where it's seated from when you originally took it out, and you can hear the pitch. The tone is different. See that tone? I don't know if you guys can pick it up, but that means it's in there. It's done. That's how simple it is to remove the seal, pack the bearing with fresh grease, inspect things, put it all back. Okay, so I hope that video helped you out. Removing the wheel seal is fairly easy. Now, if you don't have the fancy puller, wheel seal puller, you can use a screwdriver or pry bar. You can wedge it out that way. You can actually take the spindle nut, put it back on the spindle. Obviously the rotor's off. Hook your wheel seal right over there between the seal and the back of the bearing. Yank it off that way, it'll pop out. So there's different ways to skin a cat, but I hope the video gave you a good idea if you need to do this job. So thanks for stopping by the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Thumbs up's always good. Leave all your comments and questions right there down below, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.